choosing to be right and saving a relationship, or to be wrong and losing a relationship. Like choosing to be right and maintaining peace, or to be right and causing violence and so on. So this week I'm just looking up, like, let's discuss about something different. Like, I am a very goal oriented type of person. Like, I am actually in this environment, or like this, let me say, this atmosphere where everyone is talking about goals, focus on your goals, work hard on your goals, achieve them, your dreams, what you want to achieve, grind mode and everything. But I was kind of like reflecting on all of these stuffs, and yes, they are quite very interesting, but also I think it's important for us to talk about human relationship, like how we interact with one another. And I heard about this definition from Simon Sinek, that a community is a group of people who decide to come together and to grow together. So if I'm talking about building a community, which is the one I'm trying to build with you on YouTube, on my platform, my Instagram, and so on, then we need to decide to grow together. And if we are growing together, it means we need to share our different thoughts together. We need to be able to interact. We need to be able, like, to express ourselves freely and so on. So I wanted this week for us to discuss more about human interaction, like how we should live and so on, according to my own experience and my own thoughts. I may be wrong, but those are just my own way of seeing things, and I would like, if I'm wrong somewhere, that you correct me and maybe give me your own point of view. So this morning I was thinking about something. We live in a world where no one accepts his mistakes, where no one accepts to be found guilty or to be found wrong. And still everyone is saying, I want peace. We live in a world where everyone is always trying to be on the right side and not on the wrong side, but still everyone is trying to say, I am looking for peace. And I was thinking about, is it always important to say, to be the right person in a conversation, for example? Is it necessary to always be the person who says, to whom they say you are right? Is it always necessary to be the person on the safe path in a conversation? I think most of the time in our separate in our different environments, we have those type of debates where, like, you go on a long debate with your friend. You're trying to bring them points why they should accept what you're saying, your opinion, and so on. And they are also trying to bring out points why you should accept what you're saying. And I think most of the time they are just saying, doing that from their own way of seeing things and from their own points of views and so on. But accepting someone's point of view is also like accepting a relationship, because once you decide to be in a relationship with a person, it means like you've decided, like, to accept what that person thinks, the thoughts of that person, the behaviors of that person, and to grow with it. So always trying, like, to prove someone wrong in a relationship, in a debate, or so on, I don't think it's really one of the best attitude we should implement if you want to live, like, in a community that you're trying to build, or in a relationship. Yeah, I can get that voice telling me, like, I can get that voice saying, like, yes, if I'm right, and if I always say I'm wrong and so on, then they may take that for granted. Yeah, I think most people take that for granted. Like when you always say, yes, you are right, I'm sorry, I am wrong, they take that for granted. But what I also want you to see, like, is the satisfaction you get after saying to someone, you are right, whereas you know the person is wrong. Like, who really gains the satisfaction? Is it the person who thinks he is right, or is it you who knows you are right? I think in most of the time, you saying the other person is right gives you a full satisfaction. Like, it makes you happy because you know, okay, even if I'm accepting this, I'm doing this for the best of our relationship. I take an example. Just yesterday, I was thinking about filming this video yesterday, but I did not. I had another video to post. So yesterday, I went to a supermarket to buy some books and a bit of stuff. So I had to I had items separated together because I wanted to pay them differently. So the first item passed and the person gave me the amount. I gave him the money and there was no change, like balance for me. So I told him, like, the other stuffs are still mine, but I want them to be on a different receipt because they are separate accounts. So is there a means for you to reuse the rest of the money and I will give another money so you can add with the other stuffs? And the person was like, if I'm trying to bring the other stuff to pass the other stuff, I will consider all of them as one account. And I said, like, without meaning to hurt the person, I said, like, I think you don't understand. That's what I said. I think you don't understand because what I'm trying to say is that the other stuffs are still mine, but just that I want to separate the accounts. So is there a means for you, like, to let the things to keep the change from this first account and you use that in the second account? And the person just went mad and said, yeah, it's my job. I've been doing this for years. I don't think you need to tell me I don't understand. You are the person not understanding and you don't tell me what to do. I was like, okay. And I looked at those who were around me and everyone was just amazed by the person's reaction. I was like, and I had those 5 second rule, like, react, don't react, react, don't react. And I thought about my own video and other things I've been listening. That's why I see this journey is really important because it helps us how to react, how to interact with people at times. So I just said, okay, I understand. I'm sorry. I am wrong. Maybe I did not understand what you were saying. And all the people around, I saw their eyes and they were just like, wow. And they were just like, what are you saying? And they were just looking at the other guy because he was making a lot of cinema. Like, he was saying, like, don't tell me what to do. I've been doing this for years. This is my job and so on. I was like, because I also do the job at times, like part-time jobs and so on. So I was also like in my mind, like, it's not because you've been doing this job for years that you don't need help or that someone can't not convince, that someone can't tell you something new or something. You need to be always open. That I was saying in my mind, and I just told the person I'm wrong. I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm wrong. And the person was like feeling satisfied that he knows the job and so on. And I was just in my mind and looking at the person I was with, like, is he even normal? That is a sincere part of me. I was like just thinking in my mind, is he even normal? And I had that satisfaction because maybe in the past I would have just told the person, like, you are stupid, you don't know what you're saying, you need to listen to what I'm telling you. But I just asked myself after I told the person he was right, like, where what could I how could have the person received the information if I told him you're crazy and so on, especially at that time when where he was at the emotional state and so on. And I just thought, like, I did the best thing I could have ever done. And I was really proud of myself after I left that. So just accepting that the person is right, knowing where he's wrong, saved, made peace there, and everything was smooth and everyone was safe. And I know you don't need to always do that because most of the time when you do that, people take your peace, your seek for peace for granted. Like, they always say, like, since you're trying to always be on the wrong one, people can just smash you, and each time they know you will say, yes, I'm wrong and so on. But I'm saying like what I'm saying is like in a close relationship or in a relationship where you really think peace matters and where you really think like that is the only option. That is, if you're trying to go contradict the other person, you're going to create more harm than good. It's just better to accept that. For example, maybe for example, in a boyfriend girlfriend relationship, your girlfriend is maybe not around, and you know at times she calls you maybe by 6 p.m., and at 6 p.m. you don't receive her call, and maybe you decide, okay, just as the community says, a boy should not like plead girls and so on. If she does not call, don't call. And you decide not to call, to text her. And when she comes back home, she's like, I stayed the whole day, you did not call me and so on. I've been expecting your call. What happened? Is that how you're going to leave and so on? You knowing she was the one to call you at 6 p.m., you start to say like, I did not call you because you were supposed to call me and so on. And I did not do that because I think I have been doing that so much and I'm always the one calling you and so on. Can you just imagine her reaction at that time? Or if you just take it another way and say, nah, I'm sorry, I was expecting your call, but since you never came, I thought you were. But don't say thought I because I don't like thinking in a relationship. Just saying, I did not call you because I discovered you did not call me. Since you always do it at that time, you not doing it made me to see, made me to think you're. I don't want to use the word think, that you did not call me, so I was just expecting you would come back home and we discuss about that. So that at that moment the person knows he's wrong, but the person will always try to like justify himself and say, yes, I did not do it, but you had to call me and so on. It's just better to say, okay, I'm sorry. Next time I won't do that. Next time I'm going to call you. But if you're trying to justify yourself to the person and saying, yeah, you could have called me, this person could have called, and so on and so on, that creates another picture, it creates another cinema and so on. So at times just accepting the other person is right makes a lot of good and everything. But in this world, is that even easy? Is it easy to always say, yes, I am the wrong person? Is it easy to always say, yes, you are right and I am wrong? Is it easy? That is not easy. But once you decide to live with someone, they are just emotions mixed together. So you need to always try to keep peace and maintain peace. And at times, maintaining peace is just accepting that the other person is right and you're wrong. And that gives you the satisfaction you desire. Look at the countries, look at the global, look at the world that is going on in this society of today. What if people just accepted that they were wrong and other were right? Like, it changes nothing. Like, for me, I think it changes nothing rather than creating peace and a good environment. And once a person knows, like most people, when once they know you are that type of person, they don't use you for granted. Like they are instead happy being closer to you because they know with you conflict does not exist. Like you always try to bring calm and peace and harmony, and I think that is a good way of living in society, and that gives you also inner satisfaction and clears off your mind for you to go on and work on your goals, like to have peace and be able to focus on what you're doing. So that was what I was trying to share today with my own piece of story and saying like don't always try to be the right person. Don't always try to create the other person to to tell the other person he's wrong and you are right. Just at times go low key and say, yeah, I'm sorry, I'm wrong, and you're right. And then you'll see how that can work miracles and so on in some type of little situation. But I'm not saying you should be so weak that people just torment and climb on you all the time. But I'm saying at times you need to look at peace and look at the consequences of your action rather than just acting. Just look at what that can create. And if at times that can create more harm than good, just say, I'm sorry, I'm the wrong and you're right. And that let's go. That is also how we can live in a community if you want to live with peace and harmony. And in this our group, I'll always be there to say I'm sorry when I don't film videos and when I say something that annoys someone. So that is my own way of seeing things. And I think we should try to develop that habit in our society. So thank you. I hope you liked the video. I meet you in the next video. This is a good week. We'll talk more about personal relationships, interaction in the society, goals, and everything. Stay focused. Love you. Count on you. See you in the next video. Don't forget to like and comment. Love you.